I plan exactly what I'm gonna say, the moment comes, and then my brain's running at 100 miles an hour. I'm an introvert and social situations are not my best friend, but this year I decided to change that. I'm gonna share 6 things that help me build my social confidence without losing myself in the process. I wasn't always closed off. Growing up, I generally enjoyed being around people. I did move a lot about every 4 years due to my father's job, and so that meant that I had to readapt to a new language, a new set of friends, and a new culture every time. And now as an adult, I find that it did affect me because I kept moving and I ended up in a city where I didn't know anyone and I didn't have the energy to try. Nobody was pushing me into social situations anymore, and so day by day, I started losing the social confidence I once had. I became aware of this last year, so I took some time to really look at myself, and I noticed a few things. The first is I started to overthink conversations. I would rehearse what I was going to say and then fluster when it was time to speak. And I realized why. The less I was around people, the more intimidating they became. The second thing I noticed is that I needed time alone to process and recover after being in a busy environment. I would need 2 days of quiet afterwards. But there's a difference between choosing solitude because it restores you and doing it because it's the path of least resistance. See, introversion is not the problem, isolation is. And I think a lot of us reach that point where we realize that being comfortable can hold us back. And that's probably why you're watching this video. I started making changes gradually, and here's what helped me. The first is journaling. And I know you're probably thinking, how's that gonna help? But I started doing it after being around a lot of people to decompress. I would write about what happened during the day, how I managed it, and how I could improve. It helped me process what I was feeling, and so I wasn't carrying it on to the next day. Even 5 minutes after or even before a social event can make a difference. You just have to get it out of your head. The second thing was putting myself out there slowly. Keyword, slowly. I was practicing having an opinion in public again by leaving reviews on Amazon and Google. Now I know this seems like a strange step, but it was small enough for me and it was deliberate. This was really the beginning of something. Whatever your version of that looks like, start there. Smaller than you think is still a start. Around the same time, I worked on self-compassion. I stopped measuring myself against other people and thought about what works for me. For a long time, extroversion was seen as the default for success. And some of us spent years trying to perform a fake version of ourselves. But I'm calm, I'm empathetic, I think before I speak, and those aren't weaknesses. I also started doing things alone, like going to a cafe by myself, sitting in a park, or taking a short day trip. I wanted to find out what I enjoyed when nobody else's preferences were involved. The point isn't the activity, it's just practicing being somewhere alone without it feeling like a big deal. So then I started attending activities like a pottery class and then graduated to bigger experiences. A few months ago, I went on a girls' group trip to Morocco where I didn't know a single person going. That trip deserves its own video, but the short version is that it reminded me I had been missing out on real connections by keeping to myself. Think about one thing you've been wanting to try and sign up for it before you talk yourself out of it. By this stage, if you've worked through the first few steps, you'll find it easier, but take as much time as you need. I'm still going at it. I'm trying new things and expanding my comfort zone on a regular basis, and making this video is a part of that too. Protect your momentum because even one small thing every few weeks is enough to keep the door open. Try scheduling them in because it helps you stay accountable and you also have enough time to prepare. So when the time comes, you have no excuses. I still feel awkward sometimes. I still need my time of quiet after a big social day. That hasn't changed and I don't think it will. The more I do this, the happier and more resilient I've become. And I wish this for you too. Just know that you are who you are for all the right reasons, introvert or not. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what's one thing you would be open to trying to build your social confidence. And if you're ready to do something that scares you a little bit, I almost didn't go on the trip to Morocco that changed everything for me. That video's up next.